Our app works again.
My God.
Huge thank you to Matthew, our BDM that's helped us out with this.
You are the best, buddy. And I see you in there right now actually fielding comments and questions from our listeners that are in the BDM Facebook group kind of testing this app out. They knew before you guys know because BDMs typically know before everybody does. But yeah, the new app for iOS and for Android is out. Now, it looks exactly like the other one because we liked the way the other one looked. It just didn't work very well. So we're trying to fix the functionality of it.
Exactly. So here, if you have an Apple phone, what I just did is I deleted the Tom and Dan app I had, and then I just went to the App Store and re-downloaded the app.
It really is
it's
one
the
of the
same basically app. It's a little bit different.
It's
but
an easier way to do it. I always like to delete.
Faster.
Yeah, I just like to delete it though and reinstall. That's the way that I do it personally. But yeah, you're going to notice that the app is a lot faster when loading shows, and it should hold your position on multiple shows when you're listening. Like if you want to jump over to ACT and listen, and then you come back to like maybe an uncensored AMT show, it should hold both of your positions. But here's the deal. This is always a work in progress, and Matthew is so cool that he wants your feedback. And I want it too. So you can send it to me, show@tomandan.com, if you have any questions or anything. Try to be nice because it is easier for me to decipher that way. But yeah, we're doing our best to get this thing going for you guys.
Can you explain, if you're an Android user, what to search in the App Store?
Yeah, I mean, the easiest thing to do, if you go to the Android App Store, what I did is I typed in mediocre and then Tom and Dan. Those are going to be your three main keywords, are mediocre, Tom, Dan. And it popped up for me. But we were having a little bit of an issue having it propagate just by using Tom and Dan or mediocre. Put in mediocre, Tom and Dan, and it should propagate for you.
Yep, and when you download the app, of course, you'll get the Friday Free Show, all ACTs. If you click on BDM, you have to log in and put your BDM name and password. Then you'll get access to all BDM shows. But once you're logged in, it holds your place as long as you're a paying BDM.
You can even sign up if you click through. If you're not a BDM, you can sign up. It'll send you to the subscription page where you can use the love meter to get extra shows.
We've got mediocre messages. That's how to send us direct messages from the app.
Pictures and video.
Merchandise that goes straight to our merch page, which there's always brand new merch on there. There's sponsors where you can check out our sponsors. But basically, it's a one-stop shop. We've always loved that aspect. We thought for a while that we weren't going to be able to continue doing it but Matthew saved us.
He really did.
And so now it's out, and if you want a one-stop shop for all of our content and all information, you could download the brand new Tom and Dan app. It looks the same, but the functionality is better.
Yeah, it's been gutted completely.
And it works. So if you want to do it easily that way, download the app. And a couple other things. I know we got our Bad at Business Beer Fest. That's coming up November 18th. That's a completely free beer fest.
Yeah, if you're planning on coming from the surrounding areas and possibly from out of town, we're letting you know that now. November 18th is the day. We're looking forward to it. Should be one of the bigger, better beer fests we've ever done.
Yeah, I mean, as long as you have a valid ID and you're over 21, you'll get a sample cup and a wristband. We've got live music.
Let's see what else I want to tell you guys. Oh, I mean, if you were ever thinking about sliding into the AirT&D, I mean, September opened up, right?
September did open up, yeah. So we had a problem where someone booked, I think it was a government thing, where they booked the whole month, and then they canceled 12 hours before the deadline.
Always messing on the little guy fudge rounds.
So we've got a lot of dates open in September, and the weather's getting nicer. The events are happening in Sanford, so if you want to book the AirT&D, and by the way, we got new Fair Villa games in there and some other stuff.
Come house.
And what would you say? Well, goddamn it. But it's bookairtnd.com. Also, we've got our hookups page. That's where a bunch of friends of the show have their businesses.
We got new ones on
businesses.
there too. Swing by Dirty Laundry, open Thursday through Saturday. Have yourself a beer.
And if you want to become a BDM, if you're not a BDM, you can go to tomandan.com and sign up. That helps us a lot. And we've got a special BDM only party coming up. We're planning in December, so we'll put that out there.
Yeah, it's coming together quickly.
You can only get invited if you're a BDM.
All right, give us feedback for the app, okay? Show@tomandan.com. Enjoy. Let us know if it works, and enjoy the show. It is a corporate time with Tom and Dan. I'm Dan.
I'm Tom.
Samantha, our producer's here. Hello, Sam.
Hi.
I'm just full transparency. I'm very stuffy. I got something going on, and so if you hear me off mic coughing and hacking, I apologize, but whatever's going on in me is terrible, and I will say, but just in time for the weather to get a little cooler, which makes being sick okay, because there is nothing I hate more than when it's like 95 degrees outside and you're outside.
Sweat it out, man.
And you have a stuffed nose. It doesn't work. It does, like, it makes me feel like it's very, I get a claustrophobia feeling.
Yeah.
Like the heat plus being this stuffy is not good. So we're just going to do our best today, all right?
I'll promote Mo's Comedy Jams. It's going to be September 15th, Friday. You can go to mocomedyjam.com for tickets. All the proceeds go to Yellow Brick Road Foundation, so it's a great cause. I know me and Daniel are going to be out there. A great show. Oh, yeah, free tacos.
Free tacos. That's all you really need to know, right?
I feel the need to
eat your weight in tacos.
To say that. You know, our buddy Butler, I haven't seen him since the last Mo Comedy Jam, and ironically, he said to me like 2 weeks ago, I'd like to catch up with you over a taco. Butler, come out, buddy. Let's do it. We'll do it over the Mo's Tacos, the Tac Mo's. And
have they announced the special guest?
Okay. I haven't seen it yet.
All right.
Have they announced the special guest yet?
Not yet. I think we're announcing it Thursday.
Did you know that the headliners didn't even know the special guest? Because I got texted by two of them. They were asking, hey, who's the headliner? We don't know. Even Ross didn't know.
He didn't know, and he's hosting it.
Yeah, he was a little mad about that. He doesn't like that. It's like, you're changing it. You know, like, I could feel it.
So let's rock it through some stuff that went on over the weekend, because I feel like a lot of stuff happened.
Yeah, long weekend.
One being,
things were popping off.
I'm sure that everybody saw on their social media that they got rain at Burning Man, which caused a whole thing. It's
a national emergency.
I've never been a Burning Man fan. I'm not. Like, when people tell me they're going to Burning Man, I don't care. When people say they had a great time at Burning Man, I go, no, you didn't. I'm just being honest with how I feel about it. Yeah. When my initial feeling, when everybody was like, oh my God, are you heard? Everyone's stuck at Burning Man, and it's a dangerous situation. And I was like, honestly, well, that's what you get. That's how I felt.
Mm-hmm. Well, you remember we talked to
you guys want to live off the land, right?
Hey, if you're going to be dumb, you got to be tough.
Well, it's more about. I thought it was more about like doing drugs and pretending.
They don't like saying that
part. That's part of it.
They don't like saying that part, because that's the part that they do, but they say. For the people that like literally dig their heels in, they defend Burning Man. Burning Man is the ultimate like destination to show that that humans are still the cornerstone of humanity, and we will rise above. And it's a cohesive.
A lot of it's like community and art, and like, but it's supposed to also be like self-reliance. But it's like, you guys are not self-reliant.
I just think it's stupid.
And it also depends on the pockets of people, right? Because it's like 60 to 70,000 people.
Yeah, but Tom's right.
So the richer people, they got the RVs, they got the electricity. They're not being self-reliant.
It's a drug orgy. And you guys are trying to make it sound like you're doing something good. You're doing nothing good. It's just a party. And it sucks.
And everything I've heard, like all the stuff I've heard now, because it's all over my TikTok, is like, they're always like, leave no trace. Like they literally leave thousands of bikes just in the playa. Yeah. They leave trash all along the highway on the way out.
Humans don't do what they say. I'm very anti-Burning Man. You're drawing it out of me, Sam.
But that's where the protesters, they started off with like protesters trying to block the roads, and then like I do.
Did you watch that video? They almost got run over.
I don't know why it makes me laugh, but when
I will laugh when protesters almost get run over.
No,
and it's all protesters.
When it's just like a protester's pushing this trailer, like I'm trying to block the road, and this cop just rams the trailer, and then like knocks a protester over. And it's like you didn't need.
You got my Tom's dirty.
Ram the trailer, but I don't know. Anyway, the whole thing looks like a mess. The only question I have,
the only people that got out were Diplo and Chris Rock.
Yeah, and then there's that video. Which
now, if you're Chris Rock and you're damn near 60 years old, you're only going there chasing clout, right? You don't like the music there, right?
Well, he's going for the drugs and the sex.
That's
too.
what I'm saying. You don't. If you're Chris Rock, you're a 60-year-old black guy. You have nothing in common with anybody that's there. You don't even know any of the music artists. I handed the flyer to Andrea this morning, and I said, name one person you know, and only person, Diplo. So that's it.
I feel
Diplo. That's it.
Also, why are you hanging out with Diplo?
I will defend the Burning Man a little bit, only because Andy, remember Logic Man Andy? He came in and told us he's gone to Burning Man multiple times, and he doesn't do any drugs. He's been straight edge. What is that?
And somebody was calling me from the number 111-111-11111.
It's happening.
Is that God? Is that Jesus? God is 0. Jesus is all ones, right?
Yeah.
So he's gone multiple years to Burning Man, and like I said, he's straight edge, so he doesn't drink or do drugs.
Yeah, but he's there for the orgy.
And he's
not there for the orgy.
He does like a good orgy.
Why would you go there? You know what I mean?
He did tell me that it's cool just to see if you like art. And you like everybody there essentially, kind of hippie-ish, they're cool with each other.
People
cosplay hippie.
A lot of people there, you take scrap metal and you weld it to a bike,
right.
and you make a full, like an ornate fox sculpture, and then you ride your fox sculpture around, and
you
then
wear glow-in-the-dark
and then people are like, ooh, cool fox sculpture, and then you say, I'm an artist, and then you have an orgy. It's stupid.
It is essentially cosplay out in the desert.
It's dirty cosplay.
Campers that like to, because you have to bring all your stuff out there. And I remember he told me, like, you're not even allowed, which is kind of ironic, but like if you take a shower out there, you have to set up, basically put tarps down to collect the water that comes out of the shower, because they try not to even put water into the ground.
Yeah, I'm sure people people really adhere to that.
Yeah.
I'm sure Chris Rock puts his tarp down before he takes his Burning Man shower.
It's like a different kind of sand. And it's like it is either acidic or non-acidic, and that's why it becomes like almost like wet cement. With the water hits it. Yeah.
Do you see everybody having to walk around with garbage bags or plastic on their feet because the amount of accumulation of mud around their feet was just they have these big
can't get it off.
Mud
Sorry,
clogs.
that's what you got now. You wanted this.
Yeah.
This is what you wanted, so you got the mud feet.
So here's the ultimate question that I had.
Man.
So do you think Burning Man is going to be more popular next year?
Yes.
Because I think it will.
Yeah, it will be.
I think all this
Everybody's
attention
coming for the mud.
Well, all this attention just reminded, because I feel like for the past 10 years,
clout chasers do it.
Nothing really exciting has happened at Burning Man except for the same old, they burn the statue.
Look of glee,
you know what I'm saying? Like
the look of glee in the faces of all the porn stars I follow on Instagram that were able to yell into their phone, I don't have a lot of cell service, so this is the only time you're going to hear from me, but we're fine. Just watch the news. I'm like, get out of here. You suck.
They
just love the drama of it.
Well,
it's not even about the Burning Man or the fellowship or the community or the village.
It's like any festival now.
Just chase the clout. You
like
go
Coachella,
there.
It's just
stupid.
to be seen, to
Shut
post on your social media.
Shut it down.
You're a grump today.
I feel like crap. Shut it down.
All right, next topic.
Shut down everything.
No, but they're still burning it tonight, and that made me mad. They're like, hey guys, wait. I know that everything's terrible, and I know that you have mud feet and everything, but we're still going to do the ceremonial burning of the man tonight. No one cares.
Then there was rumors there was Ebola. There was an Ebola breakout.
I hope so.
Why
because of all the they couldn't get in to clean out the porta potties, so it was all overflowing. It was Woodstock '99 all over again.
God.
But
poo and mud everywhere.
I'd rather be at Woodstock. Better lineup for me.
True.
I mean,
I did kind of laugh that
I laughed at the whole thing. I love people being stranded in doo-doo.
It seemed like people were making more of a big deal out of it.
They were.
It's like there's some mud. Calm down.
There were.
It's like,
somebody did pass away, and that is not good. Yeah, I guess there was a guy.
They were telling them to ration their food and water because nobody was going to be able to get in.
Well, they don't want the liability of it. I think they were probably
They're
fine.
all fine. Yeah.
I think they were fine.
Mud.
I'm not kidding you. If you go on Instagram and you look up
deal.
any of the top tier adult stars that love to go to the things that are big, right? Like they go to like all the big events. Look at them. They got so much enjoyment out of getting on there and acting like they were in something that was, we're in peril. We're so scared. We're in the mud.
Yeah. Well, that's what everybody does. Like, think about when a hurricane comes to Florida. Everybody loves posting where their blue dot is. It's like, look
safe.
Look where my blue dot is. It's like, all right, we've all been through hurricanes. So it's like you got some mud in Burning Man. And then,
you guys are grumps. I love it.
I don't understand the appeal of it, though. I don't
either. I'm glad you guys are on the same page.
No, yeah.
And then Andrea's like,
I like drugs and orgies.
Me too.
I
like it.
I also like Mad Max.
Apparently, there are a lot of rules at these Burning Man orgies, though. What I mean,
what I don't like about it is the communal aspect of it. Where
you don't like community, you don't like art.
Like, hey man, I got an extra bike right here. You can ride it nude to the sculpture. I'm like, I'm not interested.
Really, I just want to be on drugs and go to orgies. Show me that. I don't even need the fire.
Can I just watch it on a TV? Like, can I be on drugs?
I prefer not to have the fire, to be honest.
I'd actually rather be on drugs watching a closed-circuit version of Burning Man. I don't want any of you near me because you're gross.
Yeah.
You're dirty, like, clay human. I don't want that. I want to be able to watch the orgy without smelling your mud butt.
Yes.
I also find it funny that there's, like, some chick in a bikini with football shoulder pads on with spikes on it, riding a trike, like, through the desert, and then she wants, like, she's supposed to be, like, this Mad Max art version.
Yeah. It's all about community, Tom.
It's like,
it's about community.
Yeah, get out.
Just so you know, that's what I'm saying. Just so you know, the ultimate,
all right, next.
The ultimate side of community. If you were going to be, it takes a village, right? We've all heard that, right? It takes a village, right?
Sure.
Yeah, to build people up, to carry a human up. And the ultimate sign of community is woman in high-side thong, football helmet, pads with spikes, covered in like Mad Max makeup, riding a trike in the desert.
But with all this talking, if I was at Burning Man, I'd walk around and, like, high and be
What's your costume going to be? You'd never
I
dress
wouldn't
up.
wear a costume.
You wouldn't dress up.
But I would be like, well, this is cool.
He'd be in his Tiny Dukes, no shirt.
Like,
would you be Tiny Dukes?
It is
black Tiny Dukes.
It is cool the amount of setup. Like, even when we did the golf tournament.
It's just trash. It's trash in the desert.
But like,
wow, look at all that trash. Look at all that trash you guys aren't going to take home, and then we're going to complain about it. Great job.
They build some elaborate, like, nonsense that is pretty. It's like just people watching and just wandering around.
It's a 80,000 feet cow.
I'll just watch the documentary on it.
Next.
I don't want to be there. Next topic.
Next.
Buffett died. Next.
Yeah, 2 good songs. Buffett.
Smash Mouth guy died.
I was going to say it was a rough week for people that hate music because 2 of your main points of contention passed away. And you know who I'm talking to. There are a select group of people that can't have fun with any type of Jimmy Buffett and any type of Smash Mouth. And boy, you're probably pretty happy this weekend.
Well, no, you're not. I don't think anybody's happy.
You know what I mean. I'm joking around.
I know. So with Buffett, the only thing, sad and everybody, but it's like,
skin cancer.
He had a good life.
He did. Skin cancer too. You'd probably want to keep that to yourself, considering the fact that most of the people that listen to you are in the sun. Yeah. Keep that to yourself. Don't help anybody. Don't talk about yours.
Yeah. It was like a rare one too.
Yeah, the rarest. I think 1 in 3,000.
But the one thing I have to say is I did see someone post on the BDM page. I promise I'm not calling him out, but it was days later after.
I was just going to say it was Dave, and then call him out by name.
No, it was days
later.
At least 24 hours or 48 hours after we heard that Jimmy Buffett had passed.
So it's the Michael Jackson died.
And then people made that joke, but someone like, did you hear? And I think they were like, if this was a joke, then touche is a great joke, and it goes into the theme of the Michael Jackson that we made fun of. That someone's like, "Did you hear Michael Jackson died?"
Yeah,
and she said that, and but it seemed to be real. Like, did you? I didn't see it on my social media.
Right.
Well, it could have been in jest, right? Of like, my God, it's everywhere. People won't stop.
That's what I thought too.
Yeah, like the irony.
They did such a good job of even saying that joke that it seemed. But I fell victim to this a little bit, where the same, like, obviously you woke up with it's on everybody's social media, and then like at like lunchtime, I told Crystal, I was like, "Did you see Jimmy Buffett died?" And she looked at me, she's like, "Are you joking? I have a phone." We all have phones that we look at that it tells us Jimmy Buffett died.
I woke up to it, and then Andrea.
Of course, anybody who has a phone knows. And then I'm like, I'm sorry. I felt like an idiot.
Well, like Andrea wasn't on her phone.
Maybe I'm just stupid.
And she was waking up next to me. We were waking up, I'm guessing it was Saturday morning. Yeah, Saturday morning. And I remember I made a noise audibly because, I mean, the guy, love him or hate him, you cannot dispute the fact that he is a legend, and I think he's a damn fine musician.
I mean, he's a whole brand.
Yeah, and I have some songs of his that I actually really like. I think the song Come Monday is one of the greatest songs of all time. I love it.
He turned that brand into billions of dollars. Billions, which is insanely impressive for a musician to do.
And all around, like, from top to bottom, he seemed like a very stand-up, amazing guy. In fact,
did a lot for charity.
He put out one of my mom's favorite books for children called Jollymon. and he wrote a song that goes along with it. And then I think it won some Caldecott Award for the art in it. And then my mom would use it with the song, and then he would pay for that for schools, because he's like that kind of guy. But yeah, that one sucked. I thought that one hurt. I did think though, skin cancer. And I made a joke earlier thinking about it. I'm like, I wonder why. Because at first it was like Jimmy Buffett died, right?
Right.
And they don't owe us anything. It's kind of like Jamie Foxx. You don't owe us anything. That's you. But I do wonder why he didn't say skin cancer and, hey, all you parrot heads out there that probably are battling skin cancer.
Could get the message out. Yeah, preventative.
If there was one guy.
I found that odd too.
Now, he doesn't need to do that.
Right.
Because he doesn't owe anybody nothing. And this is just me speaking out of turn. Please don't think I'm ill of the dead. I love this guy. I think he's fine. But I wonder why he didn't say, hey, this one's getting me, because he knew in May, or he knew a while ago when they said.
He had been battling it for a while. Because I think I understand that, and I do the same thing if I found out I had cancer, just because I don't want.
The Norm Macdonald.
Yeah,
because the Norm.
As soon as. Now, it depends, and if you knew it was going to. If you knew this was a battle that you probably win, that's different, because then it's it's part of your life. But if you knew it's terminal and you're not going to win, then it's and sometimes sharing that, I would feel then
I can't even put myself in the shoes, right? I don't know what
everybody
it feels like.
Then treats you differently.
Yeah,
and
you become the cancer guy.
Yeah, Drew talked about it.
Drew Garabo talks about it all the time. Now, that's funny. You and I had the same thought.
But luckily, with his type of cancer, like Drew's, there's you could beat it, and there's it's statistically higher likelihood. And I don't know what Norm Macdonald had, but it seemed like he had a worse one. And with this rare one that Jimmy Buffett had, it's not I know a lot of people that have skin cancer removed.
I've had it removed, pre-cancerous.
It has precancerous cells or whatever.
I've had stuff like that removed multiple times.
It's an aggressive one that spreads through your body.
And very rare, hyper rare. Another thing about this that I found interesting was that if I put myself in that standpoint, I don't think I would say anything.
If you knew the inevitable was statistically likely, and then it's what I would imagine
also some people feel like it makes them look weak to admit to something like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or they don't want to bum people out.
They don't want the pity. Sometimes it's because no matter what, people pity you.
Pretty happy music, right? I mean, the guy had some sad...
I don't want my last memory of me to be.
Yeah, everybody treated me with pity. I don't like pity usually. I don't want anybody pity me. So it's I don't want, and it's not even a fault to other. Of course they pity you. It's this unfortunate, horrible thing happened. So of course people are going to treat you differently, and it's you want to be treated normally.
Maybe you changed my mind. I think maybe you changed my mind because it's one of the only times that I've had somebody, because I told Andrea, and then she was kind of taken aback. We're not big Jimmy Buffett fans. I've damn sure made my fair share of Jimmy Buffett jokes, because he's that big, easy target.
Yeah.
But it was one of those things where when I said, well, what did he die of? And then Andrea goes, oh, so she was reading it. She goes, oh, it says here skin cancer. It was one of the only times that I was like, oh, yeah, that makes sense, I guess. It was kind of oh, okay.
There's also that, too, where you want to attribute to, he loved the beach.
And
right. There's a son that did it. But I don't know if there's any correlation.
It may not have anything to do with it. And that's my point, is that your mind, whether you like it or not, is trying to put the pieces together to give you some sort of closure, right? Yeah. You're thirsting for it. Whether you find it or not, don't know. But it was funny to see how my mind told me. They're like, oh, yeah, skin cancer. Well, he was a sunshine guy. That's kind of how...
that's how humans... Because if it's just random, then it's scary, because you're then it could happen to me, or it's random, which is you. A lot of it is random. So speaking of what's not random, he is the lead singer of Smash Mouth, and died of liver failure.
Yeah.
Which is the greater loss? Jimmy Buffett or Steve from Smash Mouth?
Well, come on, you can't make those jokes.
That's not a joke. I was asking you point blank a serious question on the show.
I think the Smash Mouth one's sadder because
I think so
it was
too.
100% preventable. Well, I say preventable. He was an addict, obviously.
I think so. Thank you for the honest answer.
But he's also young, right?
56.
Yeah.
For liver failure? Oof.
It seems like, I don't know the details, but he's he drank himself to death.
100%.
And that is, you're right, it does put the thought of it is sadder because they could have been prevented if he stopped drinking at a certain point in his life. I
can only think of the amount of weight on Mike Myers' chest right now, thinking that if he does resurrect Shrek, that there will be no true song from the heart that will accompany it.
The only thing that I have to say about the Smash Mouth guy is that I saw some celebrities post on their social, like just remembering, like, hey,
apparently he hung with NSYNC all the time.
Like, I knew Steve. Yeah, I saw Fatone make a post, and then some other celebrity,
Chris Kirkpatrick from NSYNC. His was actually they both addressed his addiction. And then they both said that it, it was very nice. Very nice.
In both the posts that I saw were their old pictures, and in both of them he had, one of them was a Solo cup. Maybe it wasn't alcohol, but in the other one it was like a beer or something. Whereas like in both pictures he had a drink in his hand, which doesn't mean anything. I'm sure they're at, like, one was at a wedding or something, whatever.
Right.
But it's it's kind of awkward when you post, like, you're posting a remembrance to him, but he's like, he died of alcoholism-related problems,
sure.
And then he had a drink in his hand. In the post, you're remembering him.
So
it's kind of like, it's so awkward to
but
me.
Then
like,
I would counter what you're saying. I would counter what you're saying.
Crop the photo.
Yeah, use an emoji. Like, I would counter what you're saying, though. What if the guy only had photos with drinks in the hand? What if there is no photo? What if
I don't have many photos without a drink in my hand.
What if you're going through all the photos? And there was a time when every photo I had, cigarette in the hand, right?
Yeah.
There's a painting in my house of that, because there was a time when if you photographed me from the 90s to early 2000, let's say 3, I would have always had a cigarette in my hand.
Now, this may be a stupid question, or I don't even know, but I wonder that we may need a doctor to tell us. But,
Fiona was her name, and she was Shrek's wife.
If my liver doesn't have a problem now, does that mean I'm in the clear? From a lot of alcohol?
No. You
or could it develop?
Still,
I think you can develop.
But what if I don't drink and you like?
If you stop drinking now, I think you're good. But you can get fatty liver from other things other than alcohol.
No, I know that, but I'm just saying, like,
I think you'd be good for cirrhosis. Sure.
The alcohol that I consumed in the past will not all of a sudden negatively affect me 10 years.
It already did.
It's already
the damage you've done is already done. But
yeah.
if you pull back, from what I understand, the liver is an amazing organism in that it can kind of regenerate itself.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what I'm talking about, but from what I understand...
Yeah. No, you could cut your liver in half, and I think it will be fine.
And it'll grow its tail back.
Like, people do liver transplants, but they do, like, half. They put, like, a half a liver in someone else's body.
That's what I want. I want to run on a half liver. I'm like a chopper. Less liver makes me run faster.
Your liver is like a crazy organ that it can kind of...
But it's not for everybody. Like, there are some people that are born with livers that are faulty. Which is like the worst thing for
genetic,
you.
Yeah. No. The liver, you need it.
I would guess that
the kidneys, you're going to have a machine externally clean your blood, but the liver,
this whole like blood condition that I have, if I don't like give blood all the time, it can harden my liver.
Yeah, because the amount of
It's also another reason why I'm pulling back on drinking too, because that exacerbates it.
And that's the thing, like,
God, we're all getting old.
Yeah, at this age, you're just like, God, you can't be drinking so much poison anymore. Like, you definitely can't be doing, like, gallons and gallons a week. Like, eventually it's going to,
I do like gallons
binging
and gallons
on the
a
weekend.
week. But, it is not good for you, man.
Yeah, I binged over on was it Saturday when we had a pool party at
you got
Porno Joe's?
If you're having a Porno Joe pool party, drinks are flowing.
Yeah. Well, it's easy when it starts early, and then it's just like drink.
Day drinking. Ooh.
Yeah. Which always gets me. I think that's why because I didn't.
It's my favorite. It lowers your immune system.
I started to get sick the next day, and we were. Crystal posted some videos. The kids were running across the yard and were throwing footballs from the pool to them.
It was nice to see your boys do the tried and true American pastime of catch the football.
Tommy doesn't do it. It's only Max.
Only Max? Oh, okay.
Tommy's
out?
Yeah.
God, he's got
not interested.
No, but he's got that wide receiver body.
He doesn't like the attention.
He can stretch out, though. My God. He's got length.
he doesn't like if he tried to catch it, didn't catch it, you feel like everybody is judging.
I know that guy. I know that guy. I work with that guy.
Yeah.
I work with that guy.
Although I got up there.
Yeah.
And
he still has a little Drunky the Bear in him.
He'll get that too.
Yeah. Which
we gotta light that fuse inside Tommy.
It's a little bit embarrassing because now that I look back, I was drunk, real drunk.
I thought so.
But no other adult was doing this.
I would love playing with the kids.
But it's not even playing with the kids. It's like a little bit of like, did I want attention? Like all the, like I started
that dance tells me that you did want attention.
But I started looking at
the second video.
I was like, all the other adults are in the pool, but I also like to show my friends that I am in somehow better
than them.
That's the most fun I think I've seen you have in years.
Yeah. Well, he doesn't have fun here. He has to go to other places to have fun.
And then also, like, I slipped and fell on the ground, and then people, they act like I'm old.
It looked like a hard fall.
See, I didn't think it was that bad.
It looked like it hurt to me.
You know what it made me?
Everybody's like, "Oh, you're gonna be." I'm like,
slipped, and when you slip, you kind of slide onto the grass.
In the grass, like I heard.
When's the last time you guys was on a slip and slide, like used a slip and slide, where you throw your body onto a slide on the ground?
Maybe a year
ago.
You
will feel it
Saturday because they did have a slip and slide set up, and
you don't feel like you've been hit by a car.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
I think it knocked Corona into me because
oh my god! Can you see the sty? I have a zit on my. I have a sty.
Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. Samantha Har is here.
Yes.
Hello.
And I'm Dan Dennis.
Why are we doing first and last name?
Yeah. What the hell's wrong with you?
Why? What did I say before?
I'm riffing on the thing you said about our guest.
Oh, well,
Did you he's still on Dayquil, I think?
Did he already forget what we were talking about? I went for the natural what we were talking about off-air riff, and it was like literally 3 seconds ago.
Yeah, but that was off-air. I'm now on air.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Different.
I'm very, very sorry.
That was off-air, Tom. Anyway.
Sorry. He hates it when I blur things.
Captain Wright is here.
Hey. What's up? Captain Wright.
Now, I'm a dumb old man, Captain. So you gotta understand that when I said Captain Wright earlier,
yeah, you're having a problem.
It's like if Lieutenant Dan was here.
Oh my god!
I'm about to freeze.
Do the Mitch.
But I thought Captain Wright was like
a stage name.
Well, not a stage name, but I thought it was a thing. Like I'm Captain Wright. Like,
like he's never wrong.
Or just
he's never wrong. You're Captain Right.
That would be crazy if I did that to myself.
Well, I don't know.
That's a lot of confidence.
And then Tom is going to fight you because he thinks he's Captain Right.
Exactly what I was going to say is like there can't be two Captain Rights because the one that I live with, he doesn't call himself that, but I know in his mind he refers to himself as Captain Right.
Or if it's like, Lieutenant Dan. I mean, that could be like Dan is always going to be Lieutenant Dan.
But I don't think you call him, like when you go to talk to him, you don't be like, hey, Lieutenant Dan. You don't be like, why did I say that? Or our brains rotten?
You refer to him as Lieutenant Dan.
No, you go, hey, Dan, because he's
just like... you never say, if he's Lieutenant Dan, if he's Captain Wright...
but this isn't but our guest, Captain Wright, the comedian... isn't a captain that I know of.
No,
I figured he wasn't a real captain, but if it's Dr. Dre, you know what I'm saying?
Call him Dre. Even Snoop goes, hey, Dre.
Yeah, but that's his friend.
Yeah,
like if I'm referring to him as Dr. Dre.
So you're saying that me referring to our guest as Captain is too casual. I should have referred to him as Captain Wright. Well, and that's coming from you, Captain Wright.
Unless it's his actual first name and I'm an idiot, and then it's just Captain. Which I did a lot of assuming
here. Is this where we end and you go, we're both right?
This is where he does the Ashley Simpson and he does a jig out of the studio.
But on the show with us today, and he is a part of the Mo Comedy Jam, the second annual Mo Comedy Jam. We went to the first one last year at Tuffy's Bottle Shop and Lounge at the Music Box there, and we're doing it again, and all of the proceeds go to the Yellow Brick Road Foundation. And on the bill is, and you probably get tired of people pointing this out, but we're going to point it out again, and then we're going to talk about it a little bit. One of the youngest comedians I've ever met, and we've seen this guy do stand-up multiple times before we actually had the opportunity to interview him. He's comedian Captain Wright. Not Captain Right, but his first name is actually Captain.
If you were Maximum Pleasure, right? Then you give it,
What the hell?
I would assume if you give it like, oh, this is a whole bit. He's Max Pleasure.
Max Pleasure is crazy.
Like if that's your porn name, I would just assume that was a stage name, and then it's not your real name or first name was a Maximum.
My name is excruciatingly wet.
Anyway,
Maximum Pleasure is awesome.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, why didn't your parents name you that?
Yeah, Captain Right sucks.
So your first name is really Captain.
Yeah.
Okay.
My full legal name is Captain Jack Wright III.
That's an awesome name.
That is an awesome name.
And you can understand why you're a comedian and people would think that that's a stage name.
Oh, of course, yeah. When I first started and I was like signing up for open mics, I'd have hosts be like, I'm not saying that for you. Just put your real name.
Yeah.
And I have to be like, oh, sorry.
Hosts are usually D-heads.
Are you familiar with Ross McCoy?
Wired. But there is like a hierarchy to comedy, and there is a paying of dues, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, we came up in radio, and there's a little bit of that in there. Did you ever, for fear of like rocking the boat or really pushing things, go like, okay, put me down as Greg? Like,
Oh, no. Yeah, I was just like, oh, that's my real name.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
I
you-
yeah.
God,
I'm
that
glad
has
you
to be
did that.
so annoying every time.
It's the worst. Yeah, meeting women is the worst thing in the world for
Like,
me.
hi, I'm Captain, and they're like, oh, God.
Yeah, they're like, oh,
Here we go. Captain Maximum
I'm not
Pleasure.
joking. When you introduce yourself as Captain over there, I was like, oh, okay,
this guy sucks.
No. I was just like, he's into his own bit. He's not going to be like, Billy, but they call me Captain Right, because I'm used to that. Where stage names is like, what do you want me to, do you want me to say your stage name, or do you want me to?
Well, some of them, it's not a big deal. Like a one in my mind that is so incredibly strange that it shouldn't be a man's name, but it is, and we say it as if it's commonplace, and we have never questioned it, is Earthquake.
Yeah, I was just thinking of
100%.
and it's always awkward when I'm interviewing you, and
I'm hugging him like, oh, thanks for being with us, Earthquake. What the hell am I doing?
Yeah, I'm like, so Earthquake. And it's like, it's weird,
That is a weird one.
Just let me call you your real name.
Yeah, what is your name? Laurel? I want to call you your real name.
Also,
I was guessing on that to try and actually...
Kinda close.
I was trying to get it right.
Also, I always just want to say one Bruce.
Yeah,
to
not
the Bruce
two Bruces.
Do I have to say Bruce every time, or can I just say Bruce?
Yeah, can we set down some rules? Or Mr. Bruce?
Mr. Bruce is good.
Yeah, because if his last name is Bruce...
Also, how do you refer to Mr. Beast? Is it do you
Beastie.
Say,
You go
no,
Beastie.
you say Beastie?
No, you know what everybody calls him, and I hate it? Is you can't have the name Mr. Beast, which sounds so aggressive. It almost sounds like somebody behind you pulling your haunches into them and humping you, right? Mr. Beast! Mr. Beast!
Yeah.
And then his real name's Jimmy. And everybody's like, that's Jimmy. And I'm like, no. You got to call him like...
Well, Mr. Jimmy is not official enough.
Yeah, you got to call him like the wolf or the big guy.
Also, I don't believe he's a beast of anything except for business.
He's mild-mannered.
He should be business beast.
Yeah, business beast. Oh, man.
Wow.
Yeah, because there's nothing behind there. There's nothing in there.
Because he's not, like, in the bedroom, no way this guy is a I don't think beast mode.
Okay,
Like,
hold on.
Marshawn Lynch was beast mode in all aspects of life. Bedroom, outside, on the field.
Everything.
Yeah.
Inside, outside.
Yeah, he can,
His hair was beast mode.
I believe it, but Mr.
His
Beast,
muscles, beast mode. Mr. Beast.
Jimmy? Oh,
You know
he's
why?
Jim.
You know what's sad
Sorry.
is that I feel like if Mr. Beast wanted me in the worst way, and I felt like I feel like if he and I were to have a night together,
Why would you say that?
that I'd be like, I feel like the whole night I'd be like, why are you checking your views? Get over here and cuddle me.
Yeah.
I said, get over here and cuddle me. And he'd be like, no. Just, I got to think of one more $1 something versus $1 billion something.
So, Captain Wright, how'd you start in your comedy adventure?
Adventure.
That's what it is.
Did AI write that?
He's a captain. It's an adventure.
Oh, that's true. Okay.
Yeah,
How
it's
did you set
a voyage.
sail?
Yeah. I don't know. I just saw someone I followed on Instagram like doing an open mic, and I was like, I didn't know it's that easy to just do comedy.
Oh, I
So-
like that you said that too.
Yeah, that's easy
Well, you
to
can't
sign
just
up.
you can't just show up to an
Yeah.
open mic and write your name
Yeah.
down, and then they'll give you
and then they'll be
time
like,
in
that's
front of
not your name.
Yeah. Then you have to go through 5 minutes of like, oh no, stage names tonight, and then it's like, but I went up at the side room at the Improv, the other bar, or not the other bar,
Fatfish
the
Blue.
Fatfish, yeah, Fatfish,
Yeah.
and it was just horrifying. And I don't even know what I said.
Were you really scared? Like, were you like
a little
not
bit
scared? I think that's not scared. Did you have anxiety or were you nervous?
Oh yeah, of course. And also, I was like a straight up child, like wearing a sweater, reading.
How
off
old
note
were
cards.
you the first time you got on stage?
I might have been
16.
Yeah,
There was 16.
Yeah, 16 December 2019.
I know that Tom and I saw you in something at the Improv when you were so young that people were coming over and Krista and been like, "Yeah, this is like a baby. Like this is a child up here."
It might have been Ari. Was it Ari Shafir?
It may have been Ari.
Because I think
we did go to Ari.
We did go to Ari, but no.
I remember meeting you guys there.
No, we met you there, but I'm talking way before. I'm talking.
And I also saw you do the comedians in drag doing comedy.
That's cool.
Yeah, that was a moment.
You made a nice lady.
Thank you. Yeah.
So 16, and then you decide, I think this is something I want to actually do.
So let's talk about this, because I do think that just neurologically you could have an advantage starting stand-up pre-18.
Kind of what I'm thinking.
So look at Chappelle. He did it, obviously one of the greatest of all time.
Right.
And I wonder if just wiring your brain before it's fully formed into a comedy thinking because your brain is firing the most when you're younger, like when you're growing, right?
Yeah.
It's so forming.
We push it to the limits now, but that's just science, right? I mean, like this guy, he's a ripe rapper still on a joke machine.
So, I wonder if you could, starting early, have an advantage.
Why wouldn't it work? It works for soccer players.
Yeah, and
why wouldn't it work for you?
You're not jaded
exactly.
yet.
Yeah.
I honestly believe, man, this is it. How old are you now?
I'm 19 now.
Oh my God, it's perfect. It's perfect. This is just what you do in the academies in the EPL. You have this kid that started out, and where'd you find him? We found him when he was 12. We thought he might have some talent. And then he worked his way through, and 14 through 16, he was in the junior academies.
Yeah, but with everything else, it works. You're super young, and
because he gets used to the BS parts of it, and then he can concentrate on the other parts of it.
Well, and not even that, just learning how to write jokes and being super efficient at that, and coming up with something funny. Yeah. Training your brain differently.
Another thing I think will be that's helped me being so young is that I don't know about all comedy scenes, but this one there's a lot of bullying involved.
Yeah.
And I was fresh out of high school, so I'm like, all right, perfect.
It's just it's just another day.
The same thing, the same amount of cyberbullying and toxicity.
I forgot that comics are some of the saddest, and,
the worst people.
They really are some of the worst people on the planet.
We got out of making group chats to make fun of people, and then I went straight to making group chats to make fun of people.
Exactly. But they were built for this. It's just one more tour of duty for you, right?
Now, is it bullying?
Back down on the ground.
Is it bullying or is it making fun? Because if you break down just what making fun is, it shouldn't be viewed as that bad. I'm just saying,
exactly.
You are making fun.
I voice a reason.
You could look at it as bullying, or you could look at it as
it's all in how you look at it.
I'm making this fun. It's just really more fun for me than the person.
If they don't know about it and it's in a group chat,
that's fine.
It's fun for everybody else. But so let's talk.
That means it's bullying. It's fun for everybody else but the person that's the butt of the joke.
I'll cut that part out.
Yeah.
That shouldn't be allowed. It's the most fun for just one person is suffering.
We shouldn't let one person ruin our fun just because they're the butt of the joke.
So let's talk about being in the comedy scene at such a young age. Because although when I was 19, I still kind of remember. I didn't think I was young. I was like, well, I'm not young anymore.
I'm an adult.
Not that I'm an adult, but I was like,
I did think I was old at 19. I thought
I have the same rights as everybody else, and I could do, and then also, I could do what you do, old man. That's how I thought, and I was right. I should have been Captain Right. Anyway, so what?
I don't get those vibes off Cap.
No, I know. But what's the difficulties in starting so young?
Definitely clubs for sure.
Okay.
I was supposed to do. Last time I was in Austin, Texas. They just opened the Mothership Comedy Club.
Oh yeah.
I was supposed to do that, and they just wouldn't let me in.
Because
was it 18 and up or 21?
21 and up.
So you still can't do it.
Yeah. So I was on the list and everything. And
how did they get you on the list and didn't check your age?
It's just I knew the other door guys, and they you got to get a vouch and stuff. So I got that part. That part was done, and I was like, nice. And I show up, and they're like, yeah, no.
Yeah, and then so...
That's a bummer.
And there's no back door because it is an actual spaceship. There's only one door, and it comes in, it's like a trap door, comes in the front. Just the standard, the whole standard.
Yeah, and I guess, like,
somebody should have opened up the back door, right? It's like,
Jolly, get him in there.
Yeah, oh my
Jolly,
God. Yeah, I don't want
get him in there.
I don't want Jolly to be my vouch.
Backstage drinking.
Fair.
He was drunk. He falls through the curtain.
Well, the thing, and they also, like, the management gets yelled at for insurance purposes all the time. They're like, you can't let it, so it's just like,
it was explained to me, because I was playing in bands, a very similar situation, but playing drums in bands when I was like, oh my God, I don't even know, 15? You'd go to play, and there were some places that were like, you didn't tell us your drummer is this, like, you can't play here.
Yeah. I really lucked out with the improv, though. Krista is the best about it. Because she was like, hey, just never drink in here. And I'm like, I promise you never. I'll leave as soon as I get off stage. And then it was perfect.
You could do it. She won't notice.
She's a busy woman.
I mean, like, I will 100% buy beers for you.
I'm
letting
alcohol. I'll buy for you.
Drinks
no problem.
on me. Yeah. Drinks on me.
I do not mind giving underage people alcohol.
Yeah.
We know the chat mentioned don't let him give him a beer because you have done that in the past.
Yeah, he did.
As long as you're over 18.
She was 19.
18
and it was at a beach event, and I feel like at the beach, when in Rome.
International waters.
Right.
Under 18, you have to be at my house.
Whoa.
Like my
you gotta
friend,
put your keys in the fishbowl.
if you're my son's friends or something, you're, like as long as you're, you're not driving.
Cut this out.
That's how I'm.
I count the Topo Chicos in the outside fridge. I count them.
That's how I grew up in the 80s, and I'm going to continue. Anyway, like, how'd you grow your social media following? Because I noticed you got a pretty big following at this point. You've been doing comedy for 3 years, and you have bigger followings than a lot of people I know. Including myself, Captain Wright. Which I've been doing this for 20 years.
He's showing respect. See that? He's showing respect.
Bro, nothing.
He's like, help me, Captain, help me.
He is definitely affected by your presence, and that's why he's referring to you as Captain.
You got to start with a really stupid stage name. That's the first part you got to start with.
Well, he was Drunky the Bear.
Yeah. Do you remember that? Something strikes me that your family was maybe a bit more highbrow.
Did you ever go to a Monster Jam when you were a kid? Or do Action Sports Store?
Yeah, you ever make your way to any family event and possibly see a drunken hero of the masses jump something?
How'd you grow the...
So it's completely random. Like, TikTok was more of like a general growth. Like, every post would get a certain amount and it'd grow. But Instagram was literally one post that blew up my following. And then it's just been going down ever since.
No.
It goes down?
Yeah, it goes down. Yeah, you get a lot of followers, and then you'll start losing them by the hundreds. It's horrifying.
It's weird. Is I'm not from that world, so I'm not used to...
It's happened to me before, where I get a massive growth for back in the day, and then you just see them exiting like crazy. And there's two ways it can happen. It can be like, some of it can just be like fake accounts that jumped onto you, and those accounts got eliminated, or some of them are just people, and these are the ones that really hurt. Some are just the people that are just like, I don't have time for that anymore. Or I saw it at the time and I don't like the rest of it, but I like that, so I'm out.
It's interesting because I come from a world like you follow someone and then you forget to unfollow. You just leave it forever.
What was the video?
It was such a stupid video. It was like me. It was like a horribly quality video. It was like me at a side angle and just a woman like heckling me and just me yelling at her. There's nothing clever. There's not really a joke. I was just yelling at a woman. And it got 3 million views on Instagram. Oh, it was the worst thing. I felt so bad.
I yell at women all the time. And I don't.
Yeah, all it gets is a police report.
You gotta put it on your Instagram.
I know. I gotta start videoing this.
And it seems like that's what a lot of social media clips, especially with stand-ups, it's the old like crowd work stuff.
Yeah.
And then I've heard from some comics that now everybody's just looking for that one crowd work clip.
Complaints from my comic buddies that are like, it's like people are chasing clips.
No, that's for sure. I mean, I used to be guilty of that for sure. I would do like if I was doing a 10-minute spot at a show, I would do 8 minutes material. Then the last 2 minutes, I'd be like, all right, let's do topics now. Give me a topic.
I've noticed a lot of comedians doing that.
Yeah, and that's just the easy way to get clips, but also you just don't feel like an artist when you're doing it. You just feel like a sellout, basically.
Right.
Okay, so let's analyze that.
But you kind of feel like you have to.
But why is it a sellout? Like, I'm just analyzing it because it's not my world.
A lot of comedians don't don't kind of respect the crowd work type thing.
But
It's almost
why?
too easy.
Yeah, exactly.
Why is it easy?
It seems like some of the hardest thing to do because you're doing improv.
No, I would say that, like, well, I'm just asking.
Well, it depends, right? You don't have to be good at it, right?
Yeah.
I didn't say you had to be good at the crowd work.
Because it can be very formulaic. It can be like, oh,
Where you
y'all,
from?
yeah,
The
y'all,
typical
y'all two together.
questions.
Oh, y'all not together. Just like something crazy. If it's like genuine crowd work, like you're doing something and you get like heckled or something happens, that's great. That's like beautiful. But then like cheaply trying to like do it just like a cut and dry kind of way is what people don't like.
That makes sense to me. Yeah.
Now people that have not followed stand-up previous and they just see like the TikTok clips and they expect that to be the show.
That's a huge problem I've heard about. I've known a couple people that like open for other comedians.
Sure.
And some of these comedians, they have a lot of crowd work clips, and they say the shows are miserable.
Right.
Because even during the opening
they
acts...
didn't do the thing that they do on TikTok.
Even during the opening acts, people are just yelling stuff, that, like because they're trying to get you to do...
The thing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's almost like an uncalled for evolution or something. Like it's our de-evolution.
Yeah.
Like, that's weird. I understand it more. I appreciate you explaining that because for a while I would see people say like, oh, you shouldn't be doing that. The formulaic aspect of it, I get.
Yeah.
You know.
But it's also like, comedians are doing what the business wants them to do, or at least how people are getting marketing for themselves and stuff. It's like this is how people are consuming this content and what's best to market yourself. So they are doing what's best for themselves. So it's like,
best for their social media. It's not best for their live show.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
But the social media is how clubs are booking these comedians. So it's like the business is pushing people this way, and then so like other comedians are getting mad. Like, this is the evolution of the business. People are just trying to do what's best for them, and so it's like you can't really fault them because they're grinding it out like everybody else. It's like if someone takes a stance like I'm not doing that, they could be left behind, and then no one's going to care.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I mean,
like,
a lot of old hats like me did that with social media when it first came out. You know, like there are plenty of people that were like, I don't need to do that. And like, look at them now scrambling to try and do it, you know, as they're still doing radio or podcasting or whatever. Who are some comedians like other comedians, and they don't have to be super famous or anything, that you admire or people that possibly you looked at and you're like, wow, that's something that or a career that I would like to, kind of follow?
Like in general, like starting comedy or like off of social media and stuff?
It could be either. Yeah, it could be either.
The person that like really made me kind of realize like how I should go away from like anything formulaic with like crowd work and stuff was Dave Attell. Because he has this one special that's out, and it's like, most specials you watch, they're just doing the material. It's like it's pretty scripted. It's still great, but they're doing it. He released a special where he's in a club and he's doing his material, but he's also like dealing with the rowdiest crowd ever. And he had that as a special.
Yeah, is it loud? Is it like...
It's loud. There's people walking around. They're yelling stuff at him.
So it's real.
It's real. It's like a real club performance.
Because I've been to those shows before.
But he mastered that over 25 years.
Exactly. That guy's a ninja.
Yeah, it's insane. And that was like the most beautiful thing because I'm like,
I have not seen that special. I'm going to check that out.
It's like bootlegged on YouTube.
Okay.
I don't think he ever like posted it. Yeah.
I'll find it.
It's really good.
Welcome back to A Corporate Time.
When's the last time you lit your farts?
I mean,
I knew it would be you.
School.
I knew it would be you.
Sorry, bro.
Have you done that to your boys yet?
No.
Have you showed them the... It's a dangerous
When you say
game.
boys.
My sons.
Take that how you want to.
Yeah. Well, you do feel it. It does heat them up a little bit,
You just reminded me to show them that this weekend.
Can I show them that? Because
Yeah.
I think I'm better than you at it. I'm going to be clinical here because I do think that this is important for little boys to learn. And even little girls. Like, I think Maisie would love seeing me light a fart. But I'm good at it because I have I can control it. And when I light it and it comes out, I got to be careful here.
Oh.
It's, I have tons of videos of me doing this. My wife does. I'm into this. I do. I went through a phase. It's probably going to change how you guys feel about me. I went through a phase where I mean, they're on my phone right now. I can't pull them up fast, but there's over 30 to 35 different videos of me farting flame or farting powder.
That's impressive.
Remember my powder video?
Yeah.
For the longest time, one of my favorite things
I
to
had some
do.
buddies that got into the talcum powder.
Talcum powder, you pack it in there like a sailor packs his pipe before he goes out to gather crab.
Come on.
You like a sailor packing his pipe before he goes out on a crab run.
Come on.
And you pack it in there tight, and then you lay on the bed, and you got to have a big one.
No, come on.
And it's called the LeBron.
The Sanford 3.
Sanford 3.
And apparently Dustin is turning into a werewolf.
I know.
Well, we're going into spooky season.
Yeah,
Halloween.
My God.
I got Paul with that one.
That was good.
It's Paul
And he got a 10.
Yeah.
My God.
All right. So, all
Silver
right.
bullet.
Okay, Paul, I got to ask you, because a lot has happened on social media over the past, I'd say, 3 weeks, just since the last time you were here. And so let's talk about it. So where are we at now? Where were we at? I know like Jingle Jam and the Hollabox Oktoberfest was officially canceled. We saw a bunch of pushback online from people being mad
people
about it.
Not happy about it.
And then let's talk about it.
Okay. And this is the first time I've been asked.
Yeah, okay.
No, it's not. It's not.
Exclusive. 2 weeks later.
Wasn't really my favorite thing to do, but to be honest with you, we were getting fed up about just feeling like we had no support from the city on the things that we did. And constantly having to go through and re-argue with them and prove to them the worth of these events that we put on. It just seemed silly because it felt like they were listening to a very small slice of the population that wanted and wanting to impose change and policy for a handful of people. And I told the guys, this is not how everyone feels. You're just hearing from the squeaky wheel, like the real loud, few people.
Yeah.
And so after saying that for a couple of years to leadership, I finally just got fed up and said it's time to just show, how everybody actually does feel it. I knew what would happen, and I really didn't want to do Jingle Jam because it was just question after question and. Change this, change that. It just got to a point where it's like, okay, it's not even worth trying to put this on. But seeing how everybody felt about that, it reinvigorated me to want to do it again. So we're pushing forward to do Jingle Jam again.
Nice.
Okay, awesome. And I guess it's a classic example of like, and this happens on the internet too. You only see or hear the bad things.
Yes.
And then like no one's telling the politicians like, we love all these events in Sanford. No one thinks they even do that.
I actually tell every politician. I'm like, hey, you've seen the Sanford events? They're freaking amazing.
So you're right, and not just on this particular instance. That's how, especially local politics, that's how it works. They will pay attention to social media, and if there's people that are just constantly complaining about the same thing, well, they just don't want to have to deal with that. And I can understand that, but my whole point was like, well, you don't want to have to deal with the other side of people because they are perfectly content and happy right now.
Yeah, and the numbers on the other side are
staggering.
A huge difference. And so,
chat room giving love to Dom and Zwane as well. Since they didn't get introduced, I will introduce them.
Now moving forward, is there more of a symbiotic relationship that you have?
I feel like we do. I really do. I felt the love even from leadership.
Nice.
Even we had a commission meeting, and the mayor rolled in with a Pints and Paws T-shirt under his blazer, which was a nice show of support.
Sure.
To where we're at, and it was a nice meeting with him. And
my wife did not do laundry. Let's begin.
Here's my T-shirt.
Okay, I'm joking. Please don't. I don't want to mess anything up.
No, everything's going.
I'm making jokes.
Everything's going great. I think that.
That's cool.
I don't want to be a rabble rouser and a person who's always stirring it up, but it's not really my style. But I felt I felt like that was the only way to do things and maybe preserve what we have.
Sure.
As opposed to we wait around and some policies get changed and then all of a sudden now they're policies and we can't do the things.
Right.
So.
Get ahead of it.
I have an idea, and I now
Does it have to do with packing powder?
Yes.
kind of knows.
Yeah, it's called Operation Sailor's Pipe.
And I got this idea from early 2000s arena football.
Yes, fake left, fake
be
right
good.
billboards.
All the best ideas come
Fake
from.
left, fake right billboards.
How many cars are you going to jump on a motorcycle?
Well,
You knew it. I like that Paul's even taking shots.
let's just say there was a lot of shady characters involved, and then and I was in the midst of these shady characters and their business dealings. And
You weren't one of them. You were just navigating. Okay, all right.
Well,
I want to make sure that's clear.
I wasn't established enough.
Yes,
I was
yeah. You didn't have enough capital.
I was an intern to shady characters.
Yeah.
Like, I wanted to be the
You're an
shady
instrument of
character.
destruction for them, right?
Yeah, I was just a do boy for shady characters. Anyway,
Are you describing the movie Minions?
Yes.
So, what I remember meeting the commissioner, and I put that in quotes, of arena football.
Oh, yeah.
And I remember
The guy with the mustache. I remember that guy.
He was eating pasta behind behind the scenes, and like
a
Pasta.
Yeah, he was
Like,
a little
in the-
bald guy with a mustache. I remember this guy.
And then they put him in a suit, and he was an old man. Right? It was
He's like,
he
I'm
looked-
the commissioner.
But I remember
he
he
looked
was-
like me, but bald.
He was eating pasta, and then I remember talking to the other owners, and we're standing around, and they're like, "Yeah, that's the commissioner." And then I'm like, he just works for us. He does what we tell him to
he
do.
doesn't do
But he pretends to actually, hold us to some rules.
Look at him eating that pasta over there like a fat pig.
But we pay him, so he likes free pasta. Look at it. And then I'm like, really? He's like, oh yeah. And then I was like, so the commissioner just is in the pockets of all the owners, and then they
For a bucket of bow tie.
and then he just does what they say, and I'm like, that's brilliant.
Bucket
So the
of
people
bow
are like,
tie.
well, the commissioner will keep him in line. That's what the commissioner does.
Yeah.
And then I was
But
like,
he was just a figurehead.
and then I was like, oh, I think that's how politics works. So what I'm suggesting is we get a pasta eating commissioner. And then
we keep funneling the pasta, keeping him happy.
it does whatever we ask. Anyway.
Are you guys trying to get Zwane all horny for Fazoli's right now? Or
It
what?
is right around the
Are
corner.
you guys gonna hit? Let's talk about that.
I think I want to
I
describe it
wanted
as
to
a
too,
crime.
because is it like Jenga where someone hears this bum 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 bum? Wait a minute, maybe we should open an Italian joint that serves spaghetti in 3 minutes. Bum 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 bum. Every 15 years.
The hell are you
like-
talking
I
about?
don't know what. How high are you? What the hell are you talking about? The
I saw Fazoli's on the way in, and I was like, "Who in their right mind would open this place back up?" After
Why
20
wouldn't
years?
they? Why wouldn't they open it?
There's been one in
Failed
Fairmont for
20
like 2 years.
ago.
Yeah, but they still work. I mean, like
People have been talking about it. So
Yeah.
They
It's
have,
all
and they're
over
gonna
the
go there
internet.
and they're going to be like,
Yeah,
wow,
but they're
this is great.
kids, man. Kids love that kind of crap. I'm
Yeah.
lucky. I'm glad it's here. So I can just my daughter. she's
Really
like,
lines up with all the carb free and keto lifestyles.
But
Ah, it's all fake.
But could nostalgia make
It might.
Nostalgia,
That thing-
absolutely.
That hot dog line. I'm sorry. That line is going to be as busy as the hot dog joint is.
Oh, it'll be busy.
That's because they're serving garlic
In about
hot
2
dog
weeks,
buns.
It's going to die out. And no one's going to care about it again.
I mean, it might, but have some fun in your life. You need fun.
Dude, I'm going to stop there and get breadsticks on the way home.
okay, all right.
But I'm not going to go there again in 2 weeks.
I'm excited about it.
Okay.
I'm pretty stoked about
I'm
it.
going to wait until the lines die down.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm kind of with Dom. Like, I remember when I was in UCF and we'd go to Fazoli's, I wasn't that good.
I don't think it's supposed to be good.
I hope this
mean,
never shuts down. I never said that.
I don't think it's supposed to be good.
Every time I drove by, I was like, still there. That's weird.
Legit, like when we were in Colorado, like a few years back, me and my wife saw one. We were like, let's go get some breadsticks, and they were great. And then I don't care anymore.
Yeah. I got you. It's like Taco. What is the what? Taco John? Yeah, well, there is a Taco John. What's the other one that we had?
Del Taco? Del Taco.
Yeah.
It's like the same sort of thing, right?
I like Del Taco.
I think you got to like fast food, though, and it's very hip now
What's
if you're like
funny is
healthy to
I'm about to
say
tie
you
the
hate
room
it.
together for you. There was a Del Taco on University Boulevard.
Yes.
Or no, there was a Fazoli's on University Boulevard.
Yes.
We actually looked at opening a bar location in that. We were very close to pulling the trigger.
No way.
Then it didn't happen, and now a Del Taco is there.
Yes,
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, I'm the worst person for you to say like to hate on that kind of stuff because Tom knows
I think
something
that
new
you and I
coming
lately,
to Orlando.
We've been butting heads.
Yeah,
you and I a
yeah.
little
Well,
bit
you're
lately.
anti-fun. You're anti the $15 hot dog for no
You
reason.
sound like everybody in my band.
No, but tell me why I guarantee you can't come up with a viable reason why we shouldn't have a $15 hot dog in Orlando, other than just it irks you.
It doesn't just irk me. It's just in that area.
You're not sophisticated enough to enjoy it.
I guess not.
You're not. You're not. It's not made for you.
Your palate's wrecked.
It's not made for you. For hundreds of years,
right.
plebeians have begged for those of us that are cultured to give them bits and pieces of what makes living as a top tier human great.
I think Dom's just mad because it's just a huge marketing thing that
it wasn't supposed to be.
I was going to say I don't think it was supposed to be.
It wasn't supposed to be.
Everyone made a big deal about it.
Yeah. That's why.
That's on society.
No, is it like,
don't get mad at the hot dog people. Get mad at the people that made it bad.
I'm still saying one of the most brilliant marketing, even accidental marketing things that happen to any company locally that I've seen in a while.
Yeah.
You guys should raise your BDM prices.
That won't cause an uproar.
Can't do it.
It's got to be
hot dog.
It's got to be something.
It's not as good.
That everybody believes is supposed to be cheap. You know what I'm saying? Like they have $1 at Costco,
right?
And then you're selling for $15, and people are like, and then you get the hate.
Yeah.
You got to get the hate and the trolls out against you. That's how.
That is how
Paul
you
and I are
grow.
going to open up a pizza joint, $75 slices.
That's
I'd be there. I try it.
That's another
I
thing.
tried. Well, you get me once.
Yeah.
You get me once.
That's all we need.
I can't watch people ask on the internet anymore, though, or say, "Oh my God, did you see what they did to the John Morgan or the Morgan and Morgan billboard?" Like Banksy got up there with a spray can and a 200-foot ladder.
But also, does it make you afraid of humans
people?
like I do?
Oh,
It makes me afraid of people. And
that person can vote and drive a car.
I can't talk about it. We're doing it, but okay, it's fine. I can't really. I'm going to get an email from some friends of mine that believe it is real.
Yeah, even though the
100%
exact all over town.
And here's the thing that bothered me.
Ken
Ken Miller, friend of the show, comedian Ken Miller, friend of the show. He posted something about it, and I'm like, are you serious, dude? And then he was like, these happen every year. I'm like, yeah, because he buys them every year. Also, how is this not, how do you not know about it? Like, it's been going on for 10 years. It's not new.
I saw a post this morning. I can't believe someone's defacing Morgan and Morgan. Like,
well, I have yet to see it.
The most amazing part is when people are think it's real,
perfectly drawn.
But
there's one above the Fazoli's, man.
But also, it's like it's a green cartoon money bag, and they spray painted glasses on it. But like, have you seen graffiti before?
Yes.
Like there'd be a D or the N word or something. Like it'd be worse than a green cartoon money bag.
Don't you think someone would have seen someone on the largest ladder of all times to climb up there?
But it's like every human has seen graffiti a million times.
Sure.
It's everywhere.
Look at a train.
And there's nothing like that.
There's no mistake in it.
I think he's right. So basically,
if it was regular graffiti,
next year we're going to need a D on one of those signs, John Morgan. You need to be believers.
There's nothing like.
Do people believe those cows are really putting those?
Yes,
words
nothing is like Paul said. It's flawless. When you look at it, the drawing is flawless
and replicated 40 times around town.
But it's not even in the style of graffiti, really. Because again, have you seen graffiti?
And again, I'd also like to reference that this happens about every 2 to 3 years. He buys these. This isn't the first time we've seen these.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But again, it's doing its job because here we are talking about a bunch of idiots.
It's brilliant.
We're bad at marketing. We got to do either hot dogs or graffiti.
Let's do graffiti hot dogs.
Brilliant.
You know,
put a rainbow colored wig on one of you guys and get a billboard. Come on, get it done.
We had a billboard. Too expensive.
This is the biggest problem because this will stop everything. If we shamed more people, and then not even a little bit of shame, but like a nonstop avalanche of shame to the point
like
where
you are so dumb.
No, where like you say like, hey, these are just like he does this on purpose, and they're like, oh, okay, because everybody's like, oh, I don't even know, whatever, and they move on, and you're like, you're not moving on. Like I will keep reminding you how stupid you were until I die. I will say, hey, remember when you thought this was real?
Every morning I'm gonna have to wake up and message you. Do you still think the Morgan billboards are real?
And I'm gonna tell all your friends and family. I'm gonna message them like your brother thought this was real. Because then
on this day in 2023,
yes, if everybody did that to everybody, people would just think before they post things, and that's the biggest problem. People post and they're like, "Oh, who cares if I'm wrong?" We got to make them care. That's all. We got to make them care.
I did a shame post a couple weeks ago because I was tired of watching people call celebrities by their first name only, like they had just gone to coffee with them this morning.
I got a friend that does
It was
that.
it was this new guy with the song, the red bearded guy, the one that looks like he's a character from Braveheart.
Oh, Oliver Anthony?
Yeah. Someone was like, Oliver's song. I was like, dude, like,
you don't know.
Stop saying just his first name unless it's Madonna or Cher.
Or Prince.
Oh, by the way, do you guys like fudge rounds?
Love them.
I was just making sure.
Who doesn't?
Hey, who's pro fudge rounds around here?
They have the double fudge rounds now.
Doubles?
Have you guys seen those double stacked?
Yeah, I like a double stack.
I knew you like fudge rounds.
He wanted them fudge rounders. I knew it.
I like making something political.
You know, they taste better when the government pays for them, too.
Do we even hit anything that's coming up? You guys
forgot.
Yeah.
We got a food truck fiesta.
Okay, yeah, all
Let's
right,
hit some things that are happening because we're eking into the weekend.
So, food truck fiesta this Sunday. Just talked to Eric. He's going to be out there. We got Modern Plumbing that's next to Eric. And by the way, if you go by and get something from Eric, take a picture with the guys from Modern Plumbing. They're giving away promotional items, but it
Ask
helps
for
us.
Flushy.
They're a great partner of ours, and they're partnering with events and things like that.
Indeed.
So going up and saying hi and you're a listener does help us. So like you think
we used to not say that. We used to just want you guys to do it because I don't think it's cool to tell you if you go up to any of the people that support our show, it helps us out. But we're beyond cool now. Yeah. Just go up to them and say, "Hey, heard you on the show."
Yeah, 5 people do that. It does matter, and they remember like, "Oh, cool, I appreciate that." And instead of just walking by, because like if you could say hi and shoot me a text or an email and tell me you did it, we'll send you a prize.
Yeah, or we'll say like, "Send me photo proof."
So
I do that. I'm like, "Send me photo proof." I don't do that.
So what are some other things coming up?
Okay, we have Oktoberfest coming up in conjunction with Willow Tree at Citrus City in Lake Mary.
Nice.
I'm efforting for a date right now because I don't remember. Does anybody know what date the Oktoberfest is?
I'd like to.
I have no idea.
How do we have you guys in every month?
It's because that's what stick boys usually
This is
do.
Dustin's job.
Dustin's
my
son.
God. Hit it, werewolf.
I mean, I DJ every Saturday.
There you go.
Oh, hang on. We are starting a. Well, take it away, Zwain.
I DJ every Saturday at West End, starting at 10, and then I hope it'll be every month, but we are starting a Latin fusion night on the 21st, which is a Thursday.
You know what that is? That's when you smash two Latins together.
Exactly. You've been there. Okay, cool. So I don't have to explain it. No,
Big ass.
basically,
Big ass smash.
I'll be mixing.
You smash him into a white person. Come on, it's fusion.
Kind of. I'll be mixing merengue, salsa, and bachata with top 40 dance,
cool,
and hip hop and that kind of thing.
I like that.
I had a bachata when I was a kid, but my dad took it away because I cut my leg when I was.
Racist dad joke.
Grade A dad joke.
I like that.
Machete,
That
but
was
okay.
good. My dad is literally doubled over in heaven right now. It's spilling whiskey everywhere.
And also, I guess in the next week, I'll be covering for you.
Yeah, I'm going to Colorado and Texas, so I've got a bunch of people filling in for me while
Texas,
I'm over
huh?
there.
No fudge rounds for you.
And by the way, while I'm still
Beware of those
speaking-
dispensaries out there, buddy.
Oh yeah,
hot
that's
out
the
there.
thing. You know, going to Colorado now, it doesn't hit as hard because you can just buy weed here.
Yeah.
It's like
It does-
hooray.
Yeah, weed doesn't even work for me anymore.
Yeah. Weed doesn't even hit as
I was
hard.
going to say that. Like,
we need heroin.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I would say I need
that-
something. Well, no, I think the natural progression, is mushrooms, right? Like, I have had my medical card for so long that it doesn't even work for me anymore. Like, I tooted, I'm like, is this thing even working? And it's brand new. I went yesterday, tooted like almost a full pod, nothing happening.
You need to move on to
I need to
melting
move
the
on.
glass and smoking it like crack.
Yeah. Do you do that?
Every day.
You guys do that, right?
Every
It's the only
Can
thing
you
that
teach
works.
me the way of you got to get out so you get out like
Torch?
this little.
Do dabs?
It looks like the thing you open a paint can with, and you take a little bit of the
Oh, you do
yellow
dabs.
butter.
That's all I do, man.
And you put the yellow butter in the little container that looks
Somehow-
it looks like a robot's ear
Marijuana
canal.
wasn't a drug, but now it's a drug.
And then you take a blowtorch
Yeah,
and
that's
you put
how
it on
it's
top
going
of it,
digital, bro.
and then you go. and then and then you blow it into a balloon, and then you take the balloon and you suck the balloon out, or
you're mixing things up.
Yeah. Okay,
yeah, no, the
and
first
you don't
part
even
you
need
were
all
right.
that stuff. You just get you a peak or.
But you can't take it places, right?
Peak? Absolutely, you can.
I had the little one that you put the fudge. What is it called? The
fudge.
Yeah, fudge.
That's what we call it.
That's what they call it, right?
Yeah,
Crackle,
I don't know.
They got crackle. They got fudge.
A little tiny baggie of fudge.
Yeah.
And they're like, is that melted fudge round?
You do it. You smear the yellow fudge. I've seen this. I do drugs.
Yeah.
You take the yellow fudge, you put it in the ceramic thing, and you use the blowtorch to melt the fudge, and then you inhale the fumes.
Get you a
Fudge?
peak,
All
get you a
right.
switch. Peaks are kind of crappy, but switches are dope.
Switch.
I have a Switch.
Is that Nintendo?
Or just get yourself a regular dab rig with like a torch and
Because then you
heat the
burn down your
candle.
house.
Yeah.
Your kid's
You
like,
know,
Daddy, why are you smoking?
Yeah, exactly. How am I gonna? I got a 7-year-old. I gotta have
I
my
do that at
daughter
7
walk
o'clock
in
in the
and
morning.
I'm
It's never
blowtorching
happened.
my beard off.
Sure.
Before we get out of here, though,
Yeah.
Don does want to bring up something that we're trying to put together.
We are trying to put together
need
a
people to email him.
BDM band showcase.
Yes.
We had a date selected, but I think we're going to try to maybe
Move
work
it.
with the bands to see
How many BDM
what's
bands
best.
are there out there?
There should be a ton of them. You guys have
I mean,
There's a
good
lot
ones.
of musicians.
good ones. That's what we're looking
Yeah.
for. We're looking
Right.
for the good ones.
Well, we got a lot of submissions. Now, the problem is, the best ones are probably playing on tour. But if you do want to promote your band and
Like Don Cadman, he's in Soul Switch. I know he
Yeah.
couldn't make that date, but maybe if we
Well, like I
moved
said,
it.
let's.
I like Don. I
let's
love
just,
Don,
You
yeah.
guys
Hey,
go
he's a
ahead
good
and
dude.
send me submissions to booking@drinkatweston.com, and I'll work with the bands, and we'll find a great date that will make sense for everybody before the end of the year.
Awesome.
And we'll put together something fun and try to get your band's name out there and try to do. Because when I first took the job with Paul, the one of the biggest things I wanted to do was to help bands,
Fluff me.
build bands up
Yes, I knew that.
and
You
get
told me
bands
that
out of
privately.
here.
Like, do you think Paul will ever let me fluff him? And I'm like, I don't know, dude. I mean, you got a steady gig as supervillains.
Hey, I've been there a year and a half. We're past that
And
stage
all of
at
these
this
hot dog
point.
jokes you do, I don't know. You're not gonna have time.
Sure. Yeah.
loving it.
All fun and games, right, Paul?
I know,
Boy, boy.
I like this bullying Dom day.
He never gets
I like
bullied.
this idea. If there's a lot of them, can we just do like a monthly showcase thing or
I
something?
mean, we could, but I got to get some
Gotta
more
get the bands,
submissions.
yeah.
All right, I like it.
One of your homies up there said you need a rosin cart. That's what you got to get. You get you some rosin.
Yes.
Rosin.
That's it.
Rosin
That's what
will
baseball players rub on their hands.
Yeah.
will put your D in the dirt.
All right, rosin it
A
is.
cart? I have to have a whole
Don't
cart.
get a cart.
Do I
get
lay
some
in the
dabs.
cart?
Get some rosin dabs and get you a little apparatus. and
Okay, all right, I'm in. I got to go to the next level because it's not working anymore.
Get you a fudge.
I'll show you what I got.
Yeah.
I got. Apparently, they gave me the Goldfinger. Oh no, this is the marijuana leaf model.
There you
This
go.
is what I got. But like this doesn't. It says nothing. It doesn't do nothing.
Is it hot enough?
I mean, I don't know. It's 3 temperature settings. Each one tastes exactly the same.
Did you try
Crank it up.
lighting the end?
Crank it up for sure.
Crank
Should
it
I
up.
eat the cart? I'll just pop it in.
No, it's the hottest you can go. We'll get you where you got to go.
Yeah,
to.
but then it tastes like a potato.
Well, hey, you can't have it all,
It's
man.
like a potato.
You can't have it all.
Potatoes are versatile.
Yeah,
What are
I'm
we
shaped like
talking
one.
I don't know. We got to get the hell out
Speaking
of
of
here.
which, we
have
are
a guest
starting a
in the
business.
Yeah, we got to guess. Wait,
$500 French fries.
We got to go. We got to go.
All right, guys. Thank you for coming by. Drinkatwestend.com
Yes,
for all things that are happening. There's always stuff
Yeah.
going on
There's
in
links
Stanford.
to everywhere there. Be looking for that Citrus City date for if you want to pop through there. And your staff. This is like the happiest looking staff photo I've ever seen. The Citrus City guys. They're all
great.
like, hey, and I'm like, it's like all orange, and I gotta
Yeah.
get by there.
It's fun.
I haven't even been
Yeah.
by there. It looks dope.
Yeah, it is a lot of fun.
All right, we'll take a quick break. We'll be right back with more Corporate Time. Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. Samantha, our producer, is here. Hello, Sam.
Hello.
We are live streaming, and we live stream every Monday through Friday on both Twitch and YouTube. If live streaming is something that your heart desires, if it's something that fills a void in your life, we would appreciate it if you would check out our live streams. Go to twitch.tv/Tom and Dan Live or on YouTube at Tom and Dan Live.
Also, Merchman Eric is going to be out at the Food Truck Fiesta this Sunday out at Sanford.
Yes.
Basically, a huge street party, a bunch of food
It's
trucks.
a booze fest, and if you like eating your food on a ironing board, folding table, in the sun, while there's just a booze Fest going around or like swirling around you, this is the event for you.
Our friends at Modern Plumbing are going to be next to Eric, so stop by and say hi to them.
Indeed.
It helps us. We appreciate it, and grab. They do $10 shirts at our. Eric does them at our merch tent. So
basically, all of the designs that nobody wants. So if you need a rag to wash your car or a shirt to make a whimsical outfit for your dog, we got you covered.
So we're going to do something abnormal here.
Yes.
We've got a weird job on a Friday.
Yeah, Weird Job Friday. Are we switching it up?
And maybe as a memorial to a person that passed, Daniel came up with a Weird Job song.
Well, I'm way ahead. I mean, now I'm having to push songs away. Now I'm going to have one that's going to be old because famous people
Did you do a Smash Mouth one?
Well, I thought about doing a Smash Mouth one. I got a bunch in my phone. I got a whole list of different ones I want to do. This is the most recent one that I came up with to basically tip my hat to, I think, the greatest tropical songsmith of all time, James Buffett. I believe his... do you know his middle name? Anyone? Anyone know Jimmy Buffett's middle name?
Is it something parrot related?
I couldn't think of a joke. Let's just go to the song. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Heading out down to Johnny's. You know how Labor Day weekends go.
Oh, so soulful.
I got my hey dudes on. My wife, she bought them with Kohl's Cash at the Stinky Kohl's. And honey, I hope that you know you'll hear my job on the TNT show. Come Wednesday, I will work this job. Come Wednesday, I will be up at Slob. I can see you and me at the AT&T, and I just want to grease your fat bobs. Just want to grease those fat bobs. I can see you and me at the AT&T, and I just want to grease your fat bobs. I did that with a cold. I had this full-on cold thing I got going on, and yes,
it's called COVID.
Yeah, it's called. I had COVID, and then my wife was like, "What does that even mean?" My wife's like, "Grease your fat bobs," and I was like, "You've never heard a Middle Eastern person on Pornhub like what they write in the comments?" And they write, "I want to grease your fat bobs."
I don't think your wife.
And they write, "Show a Gene," and I'm like, I love it. I'm like, look at him.
Dr. Lewis is
Hey!
how are you doing, Dr.
He
Lewis?
regrets coming here now.
I
You should blame Tracy, really.
He blames Tracy.
That's what I'm saying.
Why is he
I'm talking to him.
Yeah. Tracy, did you tell him about greasing the bobs?
No. I was like, that's an interesting intro. I've never had that.
Yeah.
What even was it?
Nobody knows. Nobody knows what it is.
I thought you had heard it before. I never even heard it.
I just told him I wrote a song to tribute Jimmy Buffett where you're greasing the bobs.
If I was Dr. Lewis, I'd be like, what the hell is happening?
I would start spinning and slapping everyone in the room and run out. That's what I would do.
I felt this way, though, when we were in Tampa on Bubba Love's Bun show.
You were like confused.
So what did you do when you felt
He just froze. He pitched McConnell. He froze. Because
I was like, what is happening? Like, this is crazy. These people are insane.
You've greased bobs before.
I know. Sorry, Dr. Lewis. So you are a foot surgeon, correct?
I am, yes.
All right.
You can't say the word surgeon. He is forever called surgeons, which is like a gentleman surgeon.
It's tomato, right?
No, that would be tomato.
So now, when you start off as a regular surgeon, then you move into feet, how does that work?
Did it again.
Typically, when you go through, when you go through medical school, you start learning different specialties, and then you can start figuring out which direction you want to go. It's different surgeries, as far as surgeons go, you can pick which specialty. Like orthopedics, you could become a knee specialist, arm specialist. And
could you do like other easy surgeries, like Yeah,
I've always thought that like a veterinarian, like even though not like a veterinarian, if I had I needed some stitches, I've always thought that I got that.
Yeah, horse, human is about the same. The skin, there's muscles involved.
Yeah.
So it's let's say I was dying, my appendix ruptured, right
here in the studio, and after that song,
and there was no either I die or I get my appendix out. Could you take it out just just based on what you know in general.
Listen, I've done general surgery rotations. I've dissected gross anatomy bodies, but you would be dead.
Oh,
yeah, but I mean, he would let you die.
But that's
the part he didn't get to. He would let you die.
I feel like if it was between you or just like my regular doctor, or like you know what I'm saying?
Oh,
like,
no, this guy's got
general practitioner.
No, this guy's got the goods because he's a surgeon.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like you're going to be 10 times better than my regular doctor.
True.
No,
but
yeah.
it's like a race car driver and a regular driver. If you don't have a map, you're still going to get lost.
But also, take that, regular doctors, because he's a race car driver, and you're a regular driver. Take that.
But like Dale Earnhardt Jr. could probably drive an F1 car if you needed to.
You know, hot take. Hot take.
Even though it's a different...
Hot take. Huh? I don't think he raced long enough, Dale Jr.
No, but
he went out early. I think I'm a better race car driver than Dale Jr. No. We have the same amount of championships, I feel like, right?
So, Dr. Lewis, let's talk about like feet in general. So what made you become a foot surgeon? Like why gravitate towards the feet?
Why not? How about that?
Oh, yeah, take that.
You know, people. I get asked that all the time. Like, why are you a foot doctor? I don't really like feet necessarily, but guess what? No one dies on me.
That's true.
That's a great idea.
You know, my colorectal surgeon buddies. Imagine that.
Yeah. Right.
Ooh, less stress, right? Because then you don't have to worry about someone.
So less cancer, right? I feel like a foot surgeon deals with less cancer in general.
Yeah,
of all the different surgeons.
Possibly Bob Marley. How do you think he died?
He did die of foot cancer. I was going to bring that up. Man, I'm so glad to hear you say that. And I think it was his Rastafarian faith and the fact that he really didn't. You're not going to cut off things. You're not right. I believe that the legend
he didn't go to the doctors, right? That was the thing.
Exactly.
Like he refused medical care.
I read it in the book Legend. Yeah, and
he didn't want to.
Amputate it because
it was a religion.
Yeah, because of his Rastafarianism. So yeah, that's really sad.
I feel like no one explained to him enough that he was certainly going to die if he didn't amputate his toe, and maybe that you could look beyond it or find a loophole or find some sort of shaman.
There's a lot of religions that don't do that.
No, I know, but it's just like you're gonna die.
Their religion's important to them, and they don't mind dying.
Like we do, Andrea and I do a form of that where we
go to a better place, right?
We don't typically take Maisie to just for any little thing. I mean, normally the first thing we do is we put her on the altar and we lay our hands on her and we give her we throw some prayer on it first to see where that goes.
I learned that that was day 2 in medical school.
Throw prayer on it first.
So back to the feet. Were you
which is the worst Michael J. Fox movie I've ever seen?
Were you like always fascinated with the foot, and when you were going through like your college or whatever?
Are you asking if he has a foot fetish?
No, Tracy, why are you trying to 90s?
It's like having EJ on the
couch. So I just wonder if is there one harder than the other? Is it like, all right, here's the list, pick one? How does that work?
That's a good question.
It's the foot and ankle. There's a lot of I'm a sports medicine physician.
Okay, all right.
So I deal with a lot of athletes. And when you say athletes, people think, oh, just broken bones or sprains, but it's the whole spectrum. I mean, I have a collegiate football player who I treated yesterday with the worst athlete's foot known to man.
Ooh.
Just from all the locker room.
Wait till you see Tom's feet. I wouldn't necessarily say athletes.
No, his is mellowed out. Okay. It's almost like his were so bad that they formed their own like homeostasis, where it's almost like it's an ecosystem there now. Well, like it's its own.
It's like jungle?
No, he's got it's cured itself by just holding fast.
Well, speaking of athletes, because it seems like
you're going to bring me up, aren't you?
Feet and shoulders are like probably the two most looked at, so it's parts of the body for an athlete, right?
It's typically like head, shoulders, knees, and toes.
I don't care.
Knees are up there. I would,
No, well, I guess knees. Yeah, knees are pretty.
I was making jokes. Sorry.
So okay, the feet. Speaking of athletes and their feet, I've had this question for a while. I've been waiting for a professional to come in here to ask, and this is going to help me with my gambling, which I really love to the point where I'll do anything.
Turf toe question?
Yes, it is. So, what is turf toe, and how serious is it?
Turf toe. It's a sprain of your big toe joints. So it came about because when they started artificial turf, football players are playing on there, and it caused the toes to like jam, and then the big toe would sprain, and all the ligaments in the bottom of the toe joint would tear, and so that's hence the name turf toe.
So they just stubbed their toe, essentially.
Well, it's more than that. It's more than just like, if I take my hand, it's
Tom always wants to put everything. Minimize everything.
Oh, get out there, McLaurin! You screwed it up for the rest of us.
Listen to the professional. You said you were waiting for a professional to tell you the real answer. So let's hear him
He
out.
didn't say it would matter. He said he was just waiting for a
But you
professional.
got to let him speak first.
Tape it up and get out there. Get some balls, Terry. I'm sorry.
I do need him. I have him. I do. You're yelling. You don't even have it. I'm staying calm.
So it's more serious than it sounds.
Well, think about it. Every time you walk, you push off your big toe joint to walk or run.
Now,
This is a question we brought up last week. If I lost, my toes, all of them, is there a way for me to walk? How important are our toes to daily walking? Are they the most important thing we have on our feet?
I mean, they're helpful.
They are, but I mean, like, if they're
the
gone...
big toe is the most important,
Which
right?
one's the most important, little or big?
The big one, yeah. Little piggy, that can go to the market, and you can still function
I think
well.
you said that was the most important one, the piggy.
No, I said the big toe.
I don't know.
So now, I feel like most of the problems in society stem from diabetes. So
I didn't know where we were going. That's very general to say, like, most of society's been destroyed by.
Well, I think most podiatrists, and would you be considered a foot surgeon's not a podiatrist, right? Sorry,
we all specialize. So,
Okay.
I'm a foot and ankle surgeon with a podiatry background.
Okay,
So your way around that, but you've gone to the extra step of being like, I'm just the guy that opens them up and fixes them.
Yeah, I got the whole spectrum. So
I like that. That's cool.
Now, but am I right as like most podiatrists deal a lot with like diabetes problems or like because you get sores and then
The purple feet is what you're talking about.
and then it affects your extremities and your feet for whatever reason first, and then you get the purple foot.
Yeah, most people that would have normal foot problems, is it correct to assume they'd be like elderly people or people of age?
It's like anything in medicine, right? So just diabetes, like epidemic, affects like everyone's pretty much a potential victim of it, just with our how many hamburgers and milkshakes are around there.
I know. I got a stack of hamburgers. People can't see this, but I have a stack of hamburgers behind me that I'm just waiting to dive into.
And then getting like bad circulation or whatever.
No, it's the one my mom had. Like my mom had, it wasn't like diabetes, but she did have like, what is that, Raynaud's disease, where she had
circulation
issues, and then
that's what Primetime's got.
Yeah,
they had to amputate his toes.
Yeah, Coach Prime has that. Still hate saying Coach Prime. I like Coach Sanders better, but yeah, that can that come at any age, or is that something like what's the biggest issue you see with people? Is it wearing poor footwear? I'm trying to change that, by the way. I wore my Brooks for you.
I see that.
I wore my Brooks for you. I went to a place and they sized me for these, and they're like, "You need these because of your gait." They looked at my gait, and they're like, "Nah, man, you gotta wear these." And I'm not gonna say I don't like them, but they're not cool. They're.
You can pass it off.
Okay, all right, I appreciate that.
Dr. Lewis, I have a theory that I know is right, so I'm going to tell you, and you can confirm that it's right.
Man, he just looked over at Tracy like,
he's like, what have you done?
Me.
So
help me.
My whole life, and partly because I've lived in Florida and because I grew up a trash kid in Florida, I've been barefoot, right? I've been running around barefoot. I used to run around the streets of Miami barefoot like an animal. I used to race kids in my block barefoot, and it was just I did everything barefoot. And
I think a lot of Florida kids did that. I did that too.
And then as I grew up, I used to hate wearing shoes. Still do to this day, although I'm getting more used to them. I call them heat muffs because they're so hot on my feet. So I wear sandals and barefoot all the time.
You remember when Tarzan got like a dress shirt for the first time? It's like kind of like that.
And then people throughout my whole life have told me like, oh, you can't go barefoot all the time, or when you're wearing sandals, bad for your feet.
And you're like, watch this. Yes.
You need to wear shoes. Shoes are good for your feet. And then I've always thought to myself, I was like, well, that doesn't make any sense because we evolved as humans to not wear shoes. Like shoes are, I say modern, but within the past couple thousand years, like 5,000 or more years ago.
Shoes are just another instrument of the devil that man created.
Well, I imagine there are 60,000 years we didn't have shoes or barefoot, right? It's like, and then our feet have adapted literally to being barefoot. So it seems to me counterintuitive by putting shoes would be worse for your feet than being barefoot.
Your ultimate argue against shoes that you want the doctor to go along with.
Well, I'm just asking the doctor if he agrees with my theory. Because I can't see how it's wrong.
Shoes, good or bad?
Well, first of all, I don't think they had concrete and like paved surfaces back then.
Okay. Concrete, yeah. Just a jungle floor and dirt, which is more for
grass.
So is there any like relevance to that theory? Like you can go without shoes, it probably is actually better for you.
Well, listen, physics is undefeated. All right, just like women.
So, I'll tell you, I got some more jokes. All right, sorry.
So, I mean, if you think about it, listen, back then, probably the person's BMI on average was a lot less than our weights now.
Most of us now have a BMI. We'll be right back.
All back to purple feet. So what's the hardest foot surgery you have to do commonly?
I think he was just telling you that your theory's wrong. But
Well, he's like, I got to go the other direction.
Because
turn left.
He doesn't, because Big Shoe will come after him because that's how it happens.
Will Big Shoe come after you if you don't endorse shoes?
Yeah, you start saying like shoes aren't that important.
Yeah, if you go wrong,
wouldn't that put him out of business though? If he endorsed shoes that made everybody's feet better?
Well, yeah, that's like a dentist telling you to stop eating sugar. Like he's not going to tell you.
But my dentist did tell me that.
Wait, what? Your dentist does not tell you that?
My dentist
you
tells
need
me,
a new dentist.
My dentist tells me uncomfortable. My dentist is like, you're fat. I'm like, whoa. Like you're my dentist. My dentist says, take your pants off.
It's good for job security.
So I forgot where we're going with it.
Sorry.
You were moving on.
Hardest foot surgery.
Hardest foot surgery, and I would go with the triple Lindy.
It seems like there's a lot of tiny
Have you ever
bones.
reattached a toe?
I have reattached a toe. I was part of a surgery when I first started practicing. When you finish residency and fellowship, you think you're kind of this like badass doctor and you can save the world.
Yeah,
like,
and so you always want like the hardest surgeries. And there's a kid actually, it was an abuse case, like one of the worst abuse cases. Yeah, it's horrific. It made like national news, and I was on call, and kid from pliers, the mother ripped the toe.
Oh my god, this is a hard turn.
Oh my god. I did not know it was going
I feel like I'm on the Gravitron right now. I'm getting whipped into a wall.
It's like 95%
plier his toes off.
Oh my god.
Now we're getting somewhere.
Now you're a hero. You're a hero if you did that.
Yes.
Holy crap.
So it made national news. It was like 95% detached, and I thought it was just like, like a little laceration after repair. And I was like, kind of like, oh my gosh, like.
Yeah.
But, as a surgeon, you're like salivating. You're like, this is the kind of stuff you really want.
Because you can do it. Because you can do such a good thing.
What did the kid do?
There it is.
Yeah, I mean, he had to do something, right?
God.
I know it's a harsh punishment.
He didn't want to wear shoes.
I will
It
say,
can't just be like he finished his homework. He's like, I'm going to plier your toes off. It's got to be.
Like,
he was at least being a
and the
D-ad,
TV
right?
will stay on the ESPN now. It will. I bet it will.
He was literally talking back something.
Yeah, something horrible.
Sorry.
Okay. Thank God you were there.
Did you reattach it?
So I reattached it, and what the crazy thing is, it made national news, and actually they reported that the kid lost his toe, and I'm like, that's BS. I say that toe. I was like, I'm gonna send them a picture to CNN,
and then of course,
because you know why? It's more salacious to be like the kid lost his toe. Yeah, that's insane. So they can just false report.
Wowie,
that one got me.
When you attach a toe back together, I've always wondered this. Like, do you just mush the two pieces together and sew around it?
Mush it. It's a mush and sew.
I mean, is there anything more to that?
Little super glue.
Get the doctor out of here. This is embarrassing.
Why is it embarrassing?
It's a mush and sew.
I mean, how else do anybody else thinks they do it?
I'll give you one. I think they got to get the bone in there, right? It's almost like when I put one. It's like when I put the head of my daughter's doll bag on. I got to take the head, and I'm going to do something that's going to, at first, it's going to look unconventional and a little aggressive, but I got to, I got to get that one thing in there, and then I got to mush and sew. Okay. But I think you got to, do you have to
Yeah, it's not like Legos, all right?
Okay,
it's like,
damn it.
All right. So is it just a mush?
It's a little more than that,
But just a little more.
It's like a heavy mush.
So it's just a heavy mush.
He wants to get out of here so bad. Bob the Love Sponge. But just a mush.
When you leave, you're just confused, and you're like,
it's really disrespectful to his profession, by the way, when you say it's just a mush and sew.
It's only disrespectful if you point it out.
I mean, you won't stop yelling mush and sew.
No, because here's the thing, Sam. Everybody out there is thinking the same as I'm a hero. Dr. Lewis knows, like the common man that's listening to the show, they think it's a mush too. They don't know nothing. I talk to these people.
I would actually go lower.
They tell me they're just like me. Every one of them. They're like, I'm just like you.
I would actually go lower and say that they weren't even smart enough to come up with the idea of a mush. They're that dumb. They don't even know. They think it was magic that did it. They're like, how the hell did that happen? Wow. That's magic.